In the book, you lay out 6 principles of effective writing. You've talked about one of them several times, which is less is more. Your second principle is to make reading easy. What can we learn from the TV show Seinfeld about 2 impediments to effective writing?
Make reading easy means make it easy for the reader to pull out our ideas with minimal effort, mental effort. And there's this nice example that we talk about in the book. Seinfeld is given terms and conditions, some kind of rental contract when he's renting a car. He says it's 500 pages, and it's 500 pages of basically unreadable text. And the person at the rental desk acted as if it was reasonable to assume that Seinfeld would have read it. And hilarity ensues. But the principle is, if we want our readers to read and understand what we are saying, that means use short words that people are familiar with, common words. Words is better than verbiage. Wordy is better than loquacious. So use common short words relative to uncommon longer words. But there's also another part which I just didn't know about. It was one of the real discoveries of writing this that was a pleasure for me. I had no idea there's all this work on eye tracking where they watch people read and they watch their eyes go word to word to word and then period and then move on to the next one. And there's this thing called the period pause effect. Watch yourself read. There are 2 things that just happen implicitly without even paying attention. One, at the end of a sentence, you stop and you just wait there while your mind makes sense of, did I get the idea of that sentence? And when the sentences are longer, that idea is harder to get. And often it requires doing the second thing, which is regressing, going backwards and rereading to make sure that you understand what everything was about. The longer the sentence, the more complex the sentence, the longer we have to wait and the more often we have to go backwards to reread. And that not only just adds time to reading, it also makes people more likely to give up and just be like, I'll read it later. I'll deal with this later. It makes it harder and more unpleasant. And so what I love about that, the eye tracking is just like, it shows it vividly, boom, boom, word, period, and then just stop and then move on. And so the goal is to write sentences that people can read quickly without going backwards and without long pauses.